So what we have here is divine justice, in which we have the weaver's web and the ultimate fulfillment of promise. In every story of suffering, redemption, and ultimate vindication, there exists an unseen force, a grand storyteller whose delicate yet powerful hands weave the threads of fate with a precision that transcends human comprehension. The storyteller, which we may call God, is a weaver of destinies, working tirelessly in the background, fashioning the paths that lead to divine justice. While the world sees only chaos and confusion, the weaver knows every strand of hardship, every thread of pain, part of a larger tapestry, a grand design that will one day reveal its perfect order. For if we look at the world not through linear eyes, but a nonlinear tapestry, then we realize that there will be fulfillment of rewards and promises, ensuring that those who suffered will reach their villain era and they will be given the treasures of their dreams. The story of divine justice is not really the story of an individual who suffered and then eventually rises, but the story of a divine cosmic order at play. Every betrayal, every rejection, every moment of despair is part of a grander plan, orchestrated by the weaver who ensures the final chapter is written with the weight of justice. It is through the weaver's eyes that we understand the unfolding of fate, not as a series of human random events, but as a precise and necessary sequence where even the darkest moments lead to a moment of breathtaking light. The weaving of fate is one in which the divine hand will lead to divine justice. Because in every tale of divine justice, the weaver is the one who knows the full picture, even when those involved are blind to the threads that connect them. The weaver does not merely react to the circumstances of the world, but actively shapes them, pulling the strings of fate to ensure that justice is served in the fullness of time. Their craft is not a simple matter of retribution, although punishment will come, but it is one of balance and understanding that the sufferings endured must be woven into the final resolution of the story, where each character, each player reaches their destined conclusion. Those who suffered receiving reward, those who tortured receiving punishment. The weaver's work can be seen in the way trials are sent to the individual wandering in the desert. Like the Israelites who endured 40 years of hardship, the person walking through their own desert of despair may feel lost and abandoned, unaware of the invisible hand guiding their path. But this path is not a random wander. It is the work of a divine weaver, carefully constructing challenges and obstacles that will ultimately test this person and forge them into the weapon that they are to become one day. Every test, every moment of doubt, is part of a larger, carefully constructed story of events. Even when others fail to see the purpose in this person or in their suffering or what mightiness or glory they will soon ascend to, the threads of destiny pull all involved together. And even the ones who judged wrongly, even the ones who threw stones and scorn and mocking, their cruelty will be repaid. For divine justice is not only the fulfillment of the promise of the one who suffers, but it is the reckoning and punishment of those who wrongfully judge. Thus, this individual who has suffered becomes the villain, and the villain era soon unfurls. Because the person who has long wandered in the desert steps into their villain persona, not because of their strength and perseverance, but also the culmination of the weaver's grand design. The result of human will is at play, but the fulfillment of the tapestry has been slowly and carefully woven across time. The weaver does not simply wait for the right moment to fulfill a promise. They know the moment will come when the individual has learned enough lessons and becomes strong enough to claim what is theirs. The treasures of the dream are not given lightly. They must be earned through trials, shaped by hardness, shaped by experiences that tempers the person into a force to be reckoned with. The villain era is the moment where the fulfillment of fate is finally woven and the beautiful craft of justice is fulfilled. Where the person who once wandered in obscurity, rejected and misunderstood, now steps forward into the light, into their own strength, which is now undeniable. They claim the treasures that were promised to them long ago, and it does not matter what form these treasures take, but these treasures will come. And those who once treated them with disdain and with cruelty will be forced to watch as they are themselves now punished, and they realize the undeniable truth that they were surely and sorely wrong. The weaver does not only work in favor of the one who rises, they also weave the fate of those who fall, those who judge the individual unfairly, those who rush to judgment. Because when divine justice arrives, those who scoffed or condemned are suddenly confronted with the reality of their own mistake. And it's in these moments that the Weaver's justice becomes clear, because this is a moment of reckoning, when the balance must be achieved, and those who mocked or treated poorly will fall to the bottom of the wheel, as the individual they once mocked rises to the top. And this is where the true depth of divine justice is revealed, because the Weaver's plan is not only about lifting the oppressed, but also about showing the oppressors that they will be on bottom, that they who once humiliated the individual are now forced to see their wrongdoing, to feel the weight of their misjudgment, and to see the folly of the path that they chose to take. The cruelty of the past is now exposed to one and all for what it was, and the oppressors must confront the truth of their own actions in humiliation. In some stories, the realization may be gentle. It may be a quiet moment of remorse or reflection, but in others, it may be more dramatic. A public humiliation, a fall from grace. Regardless of how it unfolds, the Weaver ensures that justice is both served and fully understood. The wrongdoers see at last that the individual they mistreated was never the one who was weak. Rather, they were the ones who fell, and they are the ones who were truly too puny and weak to understand just how strong this oppressed individual was. The Weaver of Fate does not necessarily rush to the end of the story. They take their time, because those who caused the person to suffer will realize they're part of a larger cosmic narrative, and that all who are involved in the story are intertwined, both the oppressed and the betrayers. The Weaver's final act is to reveal the connections between all lives, showing how every thread, no matter how dark, no matter how small, played a role in the creation of the whole tapestry. The person who endured suffering finds not only fulfillment of their promise, but also a deeper understanding of the intricate web of fate that connects all things. Their villain era, which they now ascend to and rise to, is not about just their individual success, but the larger divine plan, where each act of cruelty and each moment of perseverance serves a greater good. So, in conclusion, when the divine justice is unfurled, the oppressed in their villain era will show that they step into the fullness of that which they were promised, the rewards that were to come. And this is not a moment of petty vengeance, but a moment of divine justice, as the balance is achieved by the fabric of the storyteller. Because the Weaver has taken care for every thread that it serves a higher purpose, and divine justice will prevail. The individual who once wandered in the desert, rejected and misunderstood, will rise to claim their treasures, and as they do, those who wrong them will be made to face the suffering and consequences of their judgments. For in the grand tapestry, nothing goes unnoticed, no stone goes unturned, and every action, no matter how insignificant or how seemingly unnoticed, will be exposed, and punishments will be returned to those who so deserve it. If you enjoyed this message, please like, share, subscribe. If you're new here, welcome aboard. It's a safe space. If you are returning, I love you so much. I'm glad that you're back. In the name of the Most High God, I wish you health, wealth, prosperity, and abundance, blessings and protection if you so deserve it. And remember, when you think about the choices you make, think about how they may fit into the grand woven tapestry of fate. Have a great day.